I became a middle school teacher here in Chicago.
I've been a teacher in Chicago for the past 4 years.
I am a friend of Lauren Beitler. I taught first grade and she taught sixth, and I would say, you know, all my kids come ready to learn. What happens by the time they get to you?
I worked in a school where we did not have a counselor. We had a social worker only 2 days a week. When I taught sixth grade, a number of my kids came to me with math skills that should have been solidified in second or third grade.
I was told that I had 32 5-year-olds, and I was expected to have everybody learn how to read in 40 weeks. If you look at it as far as breaking down the numbers, that's 1.5 minutes of reading instruction per kid per day.
I got really disillusioned with the emphasis on standardized testing. I mean, even in first grade.
The focus is all, not even just reading and math, but the particular reading and the particular math that are going to be on this test.
They're not learning any of the life skills or the social and emotional skills that you think you want from kids, that you want kids to learn, that you want people to learn.
We kind of limit their experience and then limit them, and then we wonder why at 10 they don't want to learn anything.
So in a free school, students are empowered to choose what they want to learn and how they want to learn it, and they are sort of the authors of their own educations.
Students are active participants in their education rather than passive.
Choice and interest and curiosity.
The challenge is not to get kids interested in learning, because all kids are naturally curious and want to learn. The challenge is, how do we allow their curiosity to continue to blossom?
They say, you know, I want to learn why the sky is blue. Okay, let's help connect you with books that you can read. Let's go on a field trip tomorrow somewhere that's going to help us, you know, a science museum.
We also have the time and the space to work with kids individually. And kids have the time and space to be kids and to be individuals.
Small group classes, individual projects, which could be anything from a science experiment to a cooking project to a sewing project to an art project to building with blocks. Guest teachers who teach, you know, electives, and then we do a lot of field trips out in the community as well. And you know, because here in Chicago there's just so many exciting places to visit. The schools where I worked often had a slightly uncomfortable relationship with parents.
There was no sense of parents and teachers working together for the benefit of the students. So the free school, we talk a lot with parents.
The sort of regular engagement with parents that I think could potentially be really powerful.
I think if you come from a place where you assume children want to learn, then the free school environment makes so much more sense.
I went to a democratic free school when I was a child myself, and I have been so sad that there's nothing like that here in Chicago.
I actually used to teach teachers how to teach in the Chicago public school system. There's too many kids in a classroom. It's just impossible to get to all needs.
One of the things that we've been missing is a kind of nurturing relationship between the teacher and the child.
Teacher to student ratio is important.
It's exciting to be around a group of people who don't think you're a weirdo because you're interested in something intensely.
Lots of field trips.
Empowering the children to feel that they have a voice and that their voice is valuable.
I'm not sure that I would have become a scientist if I hadn't gone to this type of school myself as a child.
A smaller student-to-teacher ratio.
Science labs.
Art, science, then reading. Field trips. I'm interested in things that are like exploding and stuff.
We all have different learning processes.
Chicago Free School will be opening in the fall of 2014. Our goal is to have 60 students. As a private school, we are going to operate based on tuition that families pay, but our model is called sliding scale tuition, and so families pay based on what they're able to afford. The majority of our budget will come from tuition, but in the sort of early stages of developing the school, we have expenses for staff, rent, materials, all of that stuff that we sort of need to have in place on day one. What we're really looking for is the sort of startup nest egg, the seed money that helps us get off the ground. Kids are just naturally interested in learning about so many different things, and if you bring them into a rich environment, bring a rich environment into the school, their curiosity is going to be sparked in a million different ways, and then your job is just to sort of try to keep up.